The Auburn Tigers will be a part of history this weekend.
You are Locked On Auburn, your daily podcast on the Auburn Tigers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Yes, welcome on into Locked On Auburn, your daily Auburn Tigers podcast. I'm your host, Zac Blackerby, and thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Happy Charlie Tuesday to all who celebrate. We're joined by Auburn message board legend, the Charlie 5, also known as Kyle Rush. You can find all this stuff over at thebarnauburn.com. DJ Durkin will be at Auburn a little bit longer thanks to some contract news yesterday. Why is it so big for the program and which players specifically benefit the most from it? That's coming up on today's show. But with Auburn being number one in the AP poll yesterday, Alabama being number 2, and then Alabama being number 1 in the coaches poll, and Auburn being number 2, somehow, this is the first time in the history of SEC basketball where the number 1 team will play the number 2 team in the country. How has that never happened in SEC basketball play before? You tell me. I have no clue, but it's awesome that Auburn's part of history, Kyle.
I have no idea how that's never happened. I mean, think of all the really good teams. Like it's crazy. That like a Kentucky and a Florida, or a Kentucky and a Tennessee, or a Tennessee and Florida, or somebody like that. Like
Arkansas, like they've had their
Arkansas,
crazy.
Arkansas's one. Yeah, exactly. How has that never happened? It blows my mind, and it's kind of really, really cool that Auburn gets to be a part of it. And even crazier, it's Auburn versus Alabama. Like the intensity. It almost feels like they set it up that way. Like maybe it's just kind of a made for TV thing, but it did work out. They are probably the 2 best teams in the country.
I mean, the level of passion and disgust. I'm really trying to not use the word hate, but it's really tough to describe the situation without it. But I mean, these 2 fan bases over everything. Like it's just they're nitpicking each other's resumes. I mean, after Auburn lost to Florida on Saturday and Alabama held on against Arkansas, just both fan bases going back and forth on who should be number 1. There's just going to be so much, I don't want to say pent up emotion, just general emotion that happens in Tuscaloosa Saturday afternoon. It's, it's going to be insane. It's going to be insane.
I'm going to say something crazy right now. Okay.
Reckless? Are you about to be reckless?
You may think this is crazy, but I think I dislike Alabama basketball infinitely more than I dislike Alabama football. I don't know why. I dislike Alabama basketball on the level that I dislike Georgia football. Legitimately, I think I dislike. I think I'm serious. I think that's reality. Is that crazy?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know.
Yes, I think so. I
think it's because I just grew to just respect what happened in Alabama football. Like it just was what it was. And we're actually really good at basketball. And it's like the one thing you may have that you can kind of hold against them. And now they're getting really good at basketball. And I just don't like Nate Oates. Nate Oates is not very likable in general. Nick Saban kind of had like the grandpa likable vibe that you just sort of respected him
later at Alabama.
Exactly.
I think the first half of his tenure at Alabama, I don't think there's any way you would say that.
From about 2020 on, to me, he was fine. I kind of enjoyed.
It did feel different, and I don't know if that was just because it was we just got so used to them winning, or what. But this game, man, like it doesn't really feel like. One, it doesn't feel like Auburn plays a game tonight. For one,
yeah.
I mean, does this scream potential trap game? With Auburn playing Vanderbilt on the road tonight. Like I don't know, because we're all so focused on Saturday, and it's like, well, it's going to be big no matter what because they still will both be number 1 on respective polls, but it will lose a little bit of luster, I think. So Auburn's got to take care of business against Vandy first.
I don't think it'll lose luster. I mean, look, I don't think you can look over Vandy. You can't. Even though you're a 10-point team. You're a 10-point favorite. It's like 9.5 points, I think, on the road. But that arena, we just have so many demons there. We can't win there. So you can't. I mean, if you overlook them, you're going to walk into Alabama with 2 losses in a row, and you're staring at number 3 because they're going to be tough to beat on the road as well. So, I mean, you'd be foolish to overlook Vandy at this point in time. No matter who's going to be there Saturday, game day, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's calling the game. Doesn't matter what's going on pregame. If you overlook Vandy, you're going to get your butt whipped.
Yeah, no question about it. And so, I mean, if you're Auburn, different people feel differently about, dropping a game, and if it's a wake up call and all that. Maybe so. Like Auburn didn't drop in the rankings, so like, do you get the wake up call that you needed, or just like the loss itself? Is that enough? Like, I don't fully know, and I don't know if you tuned into this or not, Kyle, but like Daryl and I had this debate where like a lot of Auburn fans, it was like this weird split of a loss is good. A loss is good for us. It keeps us focused. Maybe it takes the pressure off. I'm like, does it? You're still number 1. I don't know. Then the other half of it is, oh my goodness, we're about to fall apart. We're about to lose 3 straight games, and Bruce Pearl's going to go to Indiana. Like that's the other side of the coin, which the truth is somewhere in the middle. And I do think it's closer to the former. I do think it's closer to the, maybe this does take off some of the pressure. Maybe this does give this coaching staff some room to say, hey, what you're doing, is it good enough to achieve all the things that you're perfectly capable of achieving? Where are you on that spectrum, do you think?
So I feel like sometimes you can sleepwalk a little bit offensively. I think you can kind of lean on guy like Janai bailing you out, or you can lean on guys hitting some threes and kind of bail you out and limp into a win. I don't feel like you can sleepwalk on the defensive side. And that's why I felt like for the longest time, Auburn didn't necessarily have to win. Like there was no loss that could get you locked back in, because you have to be locked in on the defensive side. And they were playing such good defense. And then Florida comes along and just absolutely, I don't care what the score was. People were arguing with me that it wasn't a blowout. That was a blowout. They beat our tail.
I had that same argument with some folks Sunday morning. I'm like, the game was not like the game was never way more lopsided.
It was never close. It was never close. And they beat you on the offensive end. They scored on you at will. And to me, that should be a wake up call that, hey, look, we have been limp. We've just out talented people on defense, but we weren't completely locked in. And a really good team came along and exposed us. And, maybe we lost our focus a little bit. Who knows? But that should be able to, hopefully that's a little bit of a wake up call on the defensive side that, hey, you may sleepwalk on offense, but if you sleepwalk on defense, you'll get your tail beat. Especially this back half of the schedule is tough, man. It's tough, and it's not getting any easier. There's no breaks, and you start it tonight.
Yeah, you started tonight. So we will certainly see what happens. Give us your predictions, Auburn, Vandy, in the comments down below, or hit us up on social media or over at thebarnauburn.com. We'd love to hear about that. DJ Durkin. News breaking that he got a contract extension, as he should. I think he is a big key to the future of Auburn football success. That is next right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at Wayfair. Can you imagine buying something for your home and not buying it at Wayfair, Kyle?
Okay, I can't at all.
No. After the holiday hustle, there's nothing like giving your home a little TLC. I always find that decluttering and refreshing my space helps me get back into a routine. And the way to refresh the space is with Wayfair. They've got so many different things, Kyle. So many different things. My wife caught wind that Wayfair is now a sponsor. And so we now have 2 beautiful chairs from Wayfair. And
I
now
bet you didn't spend a ton.
We no, for how nice these chairs are. Yeah. I mean, we found similar ones at a store locally. They were like twice the price. Wayfair is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Give your home the refresh it needs over at Wayfair. Head to wayfair.com right now. That is WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home. Sing it real quick.
Wayfair, you're just what I need.
Yeah, that was close enough. Thank you so much for making Locked On Auburn your first listen every single day. Kyle Rush over at thebarnauburn.com. Hanging out with us on this Charlie Tuesday. So Auburn defensive coordinator DJ Durkin gets an extension. His original contract was through 26. Now it's through the 27. season, and he's making more money. I think he made like 1.2 million last year. Now he's on pace to make like 2.5 million
double
this year. Yeah, that's double for the folks keeping track at home. That's a lot of money. And when you're doubling 1.2, that's a big deal.
It's a big jump.
But he was worth it. I mean, the Auburn defense was not really helped out or bailed out by the offense regularly last season. And this is a guy, Auburn was 28th. Yes, 28th in the country defensively when you look at points allowed per game, and they were 31st in the country in yards allowed per game. Is when you think about the turnovers and the field position and everything that kind of goes along with that.
Makes it that much more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, DJ Durkin was phenomenal last year. You could say what you want about the offense and not being able to score points and all that. The DJ Durkin's defense was incredible.
It was really good at a lot of different areas. I think the one point that people may complain about is like there were some third down breakdowns where,
sure,
people thought we should have brought pressure versus dropping in coverage and this, that, and the other. But overall, the overall product was unreal. I mean, you really stifled some really good offenses, and you made some plays, and you kept the offense in the game. You kept Auburn in the game and gave the offense multiple chances. But for whatever reason on the offensive side, we would just hit those lulls where we kept putting the defense in bad spots. But Durkin's been worth every penny. It sounded like Ohio State was going to make a run at him, and this was like sort of the way to lock him up. It's a double in a raise that goes up 100% is, to me, is pretty rare. Like that's pretty incredible. That just shows how bad Auburn wants it.
Yeah, I think Hugh Freeze and Auburn want DJ Durkin here for a long time. I think Hugh Freeze is going to do everything he can for DJ Durkin to be the DC as long as he's the head coach.
It's really dumb that it's this way, but it's a blessing for Auburn that he's probably not a huge head coaching candidate. Like there's probably not going to be a lot of just like really good head coaching opportunities, which is stupid. But it's going to end up maybe being a blessing in Auburn's favor. I mean, gosh, $2.5 million a year as a coordinator. You're the second highest paid coordinator in college football.
Is that true? Is he second highest?
I think the Penn State guy is probably
Jim Knowles at Penn State.
I think he's making more.
He's at 3.1.
I think he's the second highest paid coordinator in college football. I could be wrong. I think I saw that, but that's pretty impressive. And that would make you want to probably hang around for a while, I would imagine.
I mean, it's impossible to know exactly what's going to happen with the Hugh Freeze era. And obviously we hope that, the offense turns it around and Auburn goes 9-3, 10-2, or even better this year. Like that we all hope that. But I want DJ Durkin here because like if something goes south with Hugh Freeze, like I do think you have to consider, is DJ Durkin the next guy? Could he potentially be Auburn's next coach? Or best case scenario, Hugh Freeze has 5 or 6 more years left in him, maybe longer. And then, maybe he goes out on a championship and wants to hang him up and say, okay, I don't want to do the NIL thing anymore. And then DJ Durkin steps up. Like, I don't think anybody would be upset with that.
No, I mean, DJ Durkin's still really young. I think he's like early 40s, isn't he? He's not old at all. It would be, he's got handsome and mega handsome. I mean, he's got a lot of time left. He's only 47. Okay, so upper 40s, but still, I mean, you got a good bit of bit of time left,
nonetheless.
What's that?
Still 40s, nonetheless.
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I think this whole situation has really played out about as good as it possibly can in Auburn's favor. Mm-hmm. So keep him here as long as you can, man. Keep him here as long as you possibly can. Recruiting, the scheme is fun to play in. I feel like for different for different reasons for different players, and you're going to probably put some guys in the NFL this year, which is going to help you sell. Help continue to sell that, and then just keep kind of bringing in. We've had a lot of success recruiting on the defensive side. Just kind of keep that ball rolling.
Yeah, there's a lot of future NFL players, I think, on this defense now. But more than we can say in a while, I think. Now, some of them may be, 19 years old, but still, like there's a lot of future NFL players. And just talking a little bit, and some of this was on camera, some of it was off, but like talking with the defensive guys that were in Mobile for the Senior Bowl. They love the versatility. I mean, they're doing a bunch of different stuff. I mean, especially like your edge guys. When Jalen McLeod was talking about that. And so we're going to see now. I don't always love that, just to be honest. Like, I don't love Jalen McLeod 6 yards downfield in coverage. Like, I just don't feel like that's the best way to use him. But I think that's going to help him with the NFL stuff because in Mobile, they had him at like Mike linebacker. And so he was able to do something like, yeah, I just don't get it, but whatever. But I mean, you're going to see that with Kieran Crawford. You're going to see that with Chris Murray. You're going to see that maybe with Keldrick. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of hope not, but the versatility of all of this, and Eugene kind of commented on this too. Just from the linebackers, like they like it. They all seem to enjoy it. And these guys all talk to one another. And so I think the more that spreads and the more that, hopefully Auburn wins in the future, that should just get better and better, ideally.
Well, you don't have to feature one of those guys by just making them pass rushers. Like you feature them and you sort of exploit all of their tools and their talents by doing stuff like this. And
if they have that, if they have that,
exactly.
Sure.
And those players that we just mentioned did have that. And obviously that's why you're seeing them do what they're doing at the Senior Bowl. And they'll probably, showcase a lot of those talents at the combine and then, just make themselves more marketable. I think that helps. That's going to help. And that's why I want him here as long as he possibly can be here, because he is what a home run. What a home run and what a great fortunate situation that, that whole thing.
And this is a guy who did we really want at DC that we wanted to hire instead of him?
I'm really trying to remember. I'm trying to remember. But yeah, Chris Kiffin was the guy where you're kind of waiting on. And then after that, I think it was pretty much DJ.
Yeah, I think he was number 2, kind of on what we were thinking. I'm trying to find the coverage numbers real quick. So the coverage, me too. Me too. The recruiting stuff would have been interesting in the end, but DJ Durkin has exceeded expectations every step of the way. Jalen McLeod in coverage last year, he was targeted 11 times and he gave up 10 catches. It's like, not great. I don't love the dropping the edge rusher into coverage, but whatever. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. Okay. Who benefits from this long term? I think the answer is very, very simple. That's next, right here on Locked On Auburn. Today's show brought to you by our friends at Alumni Hall. Can you imagine buying Auburn gear anywhere other than with our friends at Alumni Hall?
Can't do it. Won't do it.
No.
Will not.
They've got 3 great physical locations in Auburn and Opelika and Huntsville. You also can order Auburn swag at alumnihall.com. They've got you covered with basketball, obviously heating up. And then baseball season starts later this week. Valentine's Day. You want a Valentine's Day gift? Just go to Alumni Hall.
Your wife may be bugging. Get her an Auburn gift.
Yeah. Or ladies for your man. You're like, I guess I should get him something. He's going to get me flowers. Let me get him something from Alumni Hall. They've got hats all like crazy. They've got
dog
stuff
bowls
for walls. They've got dog bowls. They've got dog bowls.
They have one whole wall of hats. Like it's just a lot of square footage just of hats.
Yep, that's right. So head over to Alumni Hall. Once again, the Auburn location's off of College Street. The Opelika location is in Tigertown and in Huntsville. I don't know.
It's there.
Comment down below where it is. It's apparently a great store. That's what I've been told. Visit alumnihall.com. Let them know we sent you. The players that benefit the most from DJ Durkin getting yet another year, it's very simple. Every single one of them. Especially the younger guys. The younger guys. And I also think guys that have shown the ability to be versatile. Like we saw Demarcus Riddick take a major step forward. Yeah. That was your guy? That was him? Well, you go gas up Demarcus real quick, and then I'll keep going.
Well, I mean, like you said, the versatility that he showed and the willingness to do things maybe outside of his typical range of what he's comfortable with. And then DJ Durkin being a linebacker guy, and he's got that dude that he gets to mold. Are you kidding me? He's going to be probably 220, 230 pounds at 6'3", and he can run.
He's going to be a missile. He's going to be a missile.
Can you imagine?
Is that a nuke down there? Oh no, It's just Demarcus Riddick.
Stop
blowing people up.
There's no need for it's not a weapon of mass destruction. It's just Demarcus Riddick.
It's just Demarcus Riddick. So sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, that's the guy I'm circling. He's gonna be elite. He benefits so much being tutored.
You were thinking about Shadarius Tootle. You were thinking about Shadarius, who he will benefit from.
He will benefit big time. Yeah,
future Auburn linebacker. That's right. You just want to wear that jacket again. I know you.
I do.
I know.
I want that white one. I'm going to get that one ordered.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to wear it in the press box just to make you nervous.
It won't make me nervous. I don't care, but it will make some people very upset. 100%.
I don't know that I could care less, but I might just do it.
Well, they care. They care a ton.
They do care a ton. I might quote Pat Dye. I might quote Pat Dye in the press conferences wearing that white jacket. How about that? How would that make people feel?
What Pat Dye quote would you say?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
that was a whole thing last year at one of the
I remember. Yeah, that was wild. That was crazy. Yeah. And I'm just thinking of like Malik Blocton. I think it's a dude who's like future NFL player. And
one that I wouldn't have expected.
He's
one that I was not really expecting to pop like he has. But DJ obviously trusts him, man, and he's going to be an NFL player. Like the only thing that could stop him is an injury. Like he's got all the tools and he's got all of the want to be it. And then obviously you got DJ as well helping him.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like strictly like the versatility. Like will they use Malik Blocton in different ways this year? I think they're going to kind of have to, unless they add more defensive guys via the portal in the spring, which I don't know how they wouldn't at this point. Or maybe they have more freshmen step up. Can one of these guys do what Malik Blocton did last year? Can two of these freshmen? Would it be shocked if Malik Autry, Jordan Crawford, Antonio Coleman, or Darian Smith, if two of them stepped up? Wouldn't shock me.
Got options.
Still want some older guys in that room. And then a guy like Bryce Diaz, where it's like, what does that guy do? Like, can that guy play like 4 different positions if you really wanted him to? And it's like, I think he could. Like, what in the world is DJ Durkin going to do with him? Or Xavier Atkins? That guy's an athletic freak. Hadn't really put it all together yet, but goodness gracious, if DJ Durkin gets his hands on him, like, who knows?
I mean, like we said, he's a linebacker guy. That is a guy you're talking Brandon Spikes, like at Florida. Like those are the type linebackers he's tutored. Like those are the kind of guys he's made great. So that's like he's a linebacker guy. So anybody that plays anything close to that linebacker position is going to have the opportunity to take huge steps, huge strides. And I think about a guy like Robert Woodyard. Like he's been through everything. And he finally gets to have a second season, with another defensive coordinator for the second year, 2 years, bam, bam. And what's going to happen with his development is he showed flashes last year, but he gets to back it up with another year under DJ Durkin. I mean, like he could be a guy that senior. He may be that older guy in the room that you need. It's just anybody that plays linebacker for DJ Durkin has the chance to pop.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's great. And I think the fact of the matter is like Ohio State was kind of like possibly coming at him. Like, well,
how good was their defense?
It's pretty good.
They were really good. They were really good.
And the fact that DJ Durkin's like, no, what's happening? Like, I like it here. I like it. And it could be a combination of things of like, one, I just like Auburn, but also like, I believe in what Hugh Freeze is doing. I'm okay to attach myself to Hugh Freeze at Auburn because I believe in what he's building.
This goes back
I think that's big.
Zach, we talk about this. We talk about players not leaving. We've talked about, hey, why, there seems to be something going on here. What's going on? Why are players not leaving? And then now you have a coach who could have pretty much gone anywhere he wanted to and gone to the national champions and been their defensive coordinator. How good would that resume look with all those players? And like you said, he chose to stay. Now, money definitely played a big role, but he could have made that much money. Ohio State would have easily probably played something close to that.
Same ballpark, sure.
Same ballpark for sure. And you get to play with what I would think would be a much more established, deeper roster, but he chose to stay. I think that's, again, for those that have been questioning things that have been going on and wondering why things aren't falling apart yet, there just seems to be something, man. And
they believe, like internally, they believe it. Every single guy I talk to is like, no, Freeze is the dude. I mean, talking to the guys who aren't on the team anymore that have graduated out or declared, like, they believe in it. And
they don't even have to say stuff like that. Like that,
they
there's
don't.
nothing,
and
there's
it's
nothing
all off,
binding them.
And a lot of it's off the record stuff. Where I'm like, tell me what's going on. He's like, he's the guy. Like, I've had so many guys tell me that look me in the eye and they say, Zac, he's the guy. They just got to give him time. He's the guy. He's a great football coach. So, I mean, it's stuff like that gets you fired up. Then it's like, man, we're booging and it's only February. It's like, goodness gracious. We got to wait
this so bad.
long.
Yeah, it's so far away. We needed this. We needed this bad though.
Yeah. DJ Durkin. Very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. How can people check out everything you've got going on, Kyle?
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at _Charlie_5. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Barn Auburn. Subscribe to our website, thebarnauburn.com. Take 25%, $25 off of your annual membership.
Last week. You said 25% last week.
Yeah, I guess technically it is 25% off if you think about it.
It's $100. Yeah, normally. Yeah, that's a good point.
So
good point.
Anywhere you get a podcast, you can also catch me at the Top Button Podcast.
Yeah, be sure to subscribe to his show. And then you can also find Village Vice, which is the show that I do with Brad Law every single day. And with Auburn baseball happening this weekend, be sure to check out The Barn because we have put together the best Auburn baseball show that is possible. Brad Law, Lindsey Crosby, Sonny D. It's incredible. It's incredible. So get ready for the season with those guys as well. They're doing 2 or 3 shows a week, so be sure to give them some love as well. Please like the video. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time. This has been Locked On Auburn.